Welcome to Catalyst Grid. Episode 14, Turning Lessons Learned into Systems. Every project has a lessons learned meeting. Everyone nods. Someone takes notes. The PowerPoint gets filed. And 6 months later, the same problems happen on the next project. Elite organizations don't just capture lessons. They convert them into systems so the lesson only needs to be learned once. Here's why lessons learned stay trapped in documents. They are too general. Improve communication. Better coordination. These aren't lessons. They're wishes. They lack ownership. Nobody's responsible for implementing them. So they live in the parking lot forever. They're not operationalized. A lesson without a corresponding process change is just an observation. It doesn't change behavior. It doesn't prevent recurrence. The gap between learning and systemizing is where organizations repeat mistakes. Here's the framework that works. Step 1. Make the lesson specific. Don't say, communication needs to improve. Say, electrical submittals were delayed because no one owned tracking them through the approval process. Step 2. Identify the root cause. There was no checklist for submittal handoffs between design and installation teams. Step 3. Design the system fix. Create a submittal tracker with assigned owners and weekly review cadence. Add submittal status as a standing agenda item in coordination meetings. Step 4. Assign an owner and timeline. Project controls lead will implement the tracker by next project kickoff. Template complete by end of Q1. Step 5. Validate the fix on the next project. During first 90 days of next project, track submittal velocity. Compare to baseline. Adjust if needed. That's how a lesson becomes a system. The organizations that get better don't just learn. They encode. Every lesson becomes a checklist. Every mistake becomes a control. Every near miss becomes a safeguard. And they don't wait until the end of the project. They systemize in real time. Problem surfaces in week 8. By week 10, there's a process change preventing it from happening again. That's not bureaucracy. That's organizational learning at speed. The best teams treat every project like R&D for the next one. Not by working harder, by building systems that make the work easier. Lessons learned meetings are where good ideas go to die. Everyone talks about what went wrong. Someone writes it down. Then nothing changes. Elite crews don't just learn lessons. They turn them into systems so they never repeat the mistake. Here's why this matters on the ground. If the lesson doesn't become a system, you'll deal with the same problem again. Last project, material showed up late because nobody confirmed delivery dates. This project, same thing happens because there's no delivery confirmation process. You learned the lesson, but the organization didn't change the system. So you're fixing the same problem twice. That's not bad luck. That's a missing system. Here's how you make sure lessons stick. When something goes wrong, document it specifically. Not a communication was bad. Say, we didn't know the structural steel was delayed until it was supposed to arrive because no one was tracking the shipment. Suggest the fix. Add a delivery tracker with weekly status updates and automatic alerts for late shipments. Make someone own it. Who's going to build that tracker and make sure it gets used next time? Test it on the next project. Did the delivery tracker prevent late material surprises? Yes or no? If yes, it's now standard operating procedure. If no, improve it until it works. Elite crews don't accept that this is just how construction is. They look at every problem and ask, how do we make sure this never happens again? Then they build the checklist, the process, the tool. That's how you go from learning lessons to building systems. And systems are what separate organizations that improve from organizations that just survive. Kingsley A. Mufua. Do not forget to subscribe, like, share and comment. End card. Next, building a culture of accountability.